And hello, everyone. Welcome to Planet Herring. I'm Michael, and this is iRacing 2020 Season 1, Week 4. And we're going to try this again. Um, Seeing as a couple hours ago, we were very ridiculously wrecked out on lap 1, going through the kink here at Road America due to someone's inability to leave racing room and not understanding that physics will not allow you to do that. So at any rate, gotta go through this whole process again. So we're in the Mercedes-AMG GT3. This is the VRS sprint race. And so I do have a setup that is a modification of an existing setup I was using, which is in itself a modification of a VRS setup that I downloaded from their service, with which I am a member. VRS is the company that actually sponsors this series, and I do recommend that you check their service out, especially if you're not already super fast. So let's see, we're going to do a little few laps here and talk about what we've got. So, like I said, this is Road America. The fast times are down in the 201s, 202s, 203s. I've successfully done a 204, although just barely. So we got about 15 minutes until the actual race session starts. I've decided to start doing these a little bit more on the side of spending more time talking about the actual setup and everything. So one thing I do with this is I do have my pedals calibrated, which I do on a rather regular basis. I run the car as far as steering lock at 645. I find that running a lower number actually helps you achieve better wheel track or tire traction, getting to the right slip angle. Also, no shift aids or anything else like that. So with that, let's go ahead and look at this. I've lowered the wing value here, which I think is the one thing I am really playing with, down to 2. I had originally started at 0. So going for that elusive 202, 203 number, which I don't think I'm ever going to actually get, but let's try it out. Go ahead and go, buddy.
Retake 6 clear, don't cross the white line.
So turn 1, typically I do that in 4th gear. Although I have seen people take it 3rd, just like turn 2 here, which I'm probably not getting the counts right because for some reason on various racetracks, little kinks in the road are counted as turns. Never will understand that. I did lower it down to qualifying levels of fuel, so 2 marker, very hard braking down to 2nd gear. Don't want to overcook that one. Road America is one of those classic tracks that's not really all that hard. You just have to know where to attack it in the right places. So 2nd gear seems to be the fast way around that turn, and then we're into the carousel fast as you can. 3rd gear, holding it so you can see that curb. Get it up in 4th, full blast. Here comes the kink. Do not pass here. A little bit of throttle feathering is usually needed depending on your technique and downforce, and somewhere in between the 2nd and 3rd marker, hard down to 2nd. Try to use the whole track. Let the track come around to you, and then on full throttle here, down the long straight. Alright, so let's run a few laps and see where we come in at here. So like I said, my best has been just into the 204s. I'd love to go a little bit faster than that. I'm going to start with 4th gear here. Number 1 marker, 3rd gear. Right back up the 2nd straight, or down the 2nd straight, whichever. Shooting from the number 2 marker. Hard on the brakes down to 2nd. Back on the gas for this short run up to the bridge. Brake hard, 2nd gear. Two marker, 2nd gear, kind of midway into the bridge. Don't push it too hard. Just got to keep that thing turning. Don't let it understeer. There's the curb, full throttle, 4th gear, heading for the kink. Just a little bit of throttle feathering. Back onto it as quickly as you can. Heading between the 2nd and 3rd marker. Alright. There we go. Get those apexes, use the track. Third gear through the last corner, and I think we're going to do just into the 205s maybe.
V5.
Yep. So we'll try going to 3rd gear this time. Not faster from what I can tell. And we're right at the same time. Number of people that sign up for this race during the day. Hopefully we'll get the lower split. And
You're a 10th off in sector 1. Okay, Michael, you've used half your fuel. Sector 2 is 0.30 off the pace.
I got another half a second going on here. Almost. Just into the low 205s maybe.
We're running on fumes, mate. In this lap, box this lap.
I think I like 4th gear better through there. Don't know if we're going to make the 204 mark.
Sector 1 time is good.
And we're not going any faster.
Sector 2 is 1.2 seconds off the pace.
Go right. Hold your line. Hold your line. Hold your line.
I think we got straight line speed.
Still there. Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear right.
1 gallon remaining, E9. You're now 2.1 seconds off the leader's pace. Sector 3 is 0.9 off the pace.
Okay, so I'm really thinking that the 2 setting, while it's potentially faster, just really doesn't get it.
Sector 1 is 1.5 off the pace. That's half a gallon of fuel left.
Oh, let's try the full blast.
Sector 2 is 1.3 seconds off the pace.
And there's the end of the fuel. Let's go out here and park in the garage, shall we? All right, so I don't know. I don't know that I like the low downforce setup here. So let's take, we've got about 3 minutes, and I'm going to pump this back up to 4. Let's see if we can do at least 1 or 2 laps like this.
All right, Michael, you've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining. Hit exits clear.
All right, so the whole idea behind having the extra downforce is to be able to attack the curves and the kinks and everything more aggressively. So we're going to find out if that's going to work. And much lighter feathering going on there. All right, let's try this with the higher downforce.
Right side. Hold your line. Still there.
Yeah, I'm wondering if 3
Still
might be
there.
the way to go.
Hold your line. Clear right.
P14.
Okay, looks like we need to just pull off and get started here because we now have the notification. So there we go. I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, go with 3. I need to save that. We're gonna go with the 3. I think that'd be a good balance between the two. 3, 4, 3, 4. So we shall see. So at any rate, don't know if I'm gonna actually publicly post the previous video race of this. I'm trying to get most of the things that I said in that one back into this video. Plus, I got a little irate with the guy that tried to pass me in the kink, and quite honestly, I wasn't really doing everything I was supposed to do on that race either. So let's try to make this one a better one. And at any rate, might post it as a rect after a little bit of editing, but we'll see. I do think that trying to pass in the kink on lap 1 at full throttle is a bit optimistic, and I did show where I left him plenty of room over a car's width to go through the kink, and he completely ignored physics and decided to go ahead and track out. I mean, really. And unfortunately, the person who did it is actually in this race as well. So yay. That's not going to bode well too much, I think, here. But in this case, not going to worry about it. Hopefully, we won't end up being in the same place. I mean, whatever. All right, so 5 gallons of fuel. I am going to go with the 3 setting on this, and we only need to do 3 laps. So I'm going to put 4 gallons for qualifying. This race will require a pit stop for a bit of fuel. And we've got about 10 seconds till the qualifying session actually starts. No one's really set any lap times because it just really not enough time to actually do any practicing. So, okay, well, let's get ready to... What's the max fuel? I'll fill it all the way up and find out. That's kind of a silly question. Anyway, let's see. Let's double check. Looks like everything's being able to go all the way up to its max value. That's good. So let's go ahead and get the qualifying out of the way. 4 gallons of fuel. And a 3.
Exit's clear. Push. We have 2 laps to get the job done, mate.
Leave me alone.
Okay, I'll keep quiet.
All right, so that was just telling my crew chief to shut up for a bit so that I can talk. So very quickly going through here. So once again, this will be turn 2, turn 3 maybe, depending on who's counting. 3rd gear, at least in this car. We are driving the Mercedes. In case I didn't mention that. I got my brake bias where I want it. I kind of feel like this thing pretty much wants you to be super smooth and just take the normal lines for everything. I do use traction control and ABS. See what it feels like going through here. Just a little bit of a throttle feather. Lower that volume just a hair. Hopefully you can hear me a little bit better. All right, so here we go down the main straight, getting ready to start lap 1. I think this time we will take turn 1 in 4th gear. And as always, the first lap will be a little bit conservative, I think. Don't want to take too many chances. You don't get a clean lap, you don't get a time. And coming down to, I think, the slowest corner on the track. Okay, don't push it too hard through the carousel. So you can see the track out point. A little bit more feathering than I would have hoped there. It was just a little squirrely. And then coming down to all right, so next time around, might take that one in second. And let's see where we come up with this time. 2:04.9, I kind of like that. So we got 2:04.9, we're neck and neck with our time from before. We're currently in second place, which I find amazing. And we are still about a 10th off my previous time. Although that was a much better pass through the kink. Okay, we are about 3/10 up, although losing it just a hair. All right. And we have about 1 minute and 11 seconds left. So let's see where we are sitting. Right now, the setting is giving us 4th place. Gonna pull off to the side here. Exit out. And let's look at our results. So we are in a 2:04.7. That is literally the fastest time I have ever set in this car. So it looks like we are starting to get things figured out. I think maybe setting the lower fuel may have helped on qualifying, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to fill that sucker back up. We got about 30 seconds left before the race starts. Okay, let's see. Where we got here? All right, so the thing I don't like about this, and this is the case where I say, all right, there's no way that all these guys are just sitting back here, but there is 2 things that this indicates. Number one, guys that are just getting started, they don't sit out qualifying. That's BS. I don't believe it for a second. What you got back here is you've got 2 types of people. You've got people that want to start at the back and work their way through because they're faster. And most of these people are people that simply don't know how to run a qualifying lap without running wide, without cutting, without doing anything like that. They don't get the whole, hey, run a conservative lap, then do a push lap. So there you go. I expect to see quite a few of those people pushing their way through the field, and quite possibly a bunch of them wrecking out as well. All right, so we filled the tank back up. Let's look at our fuel settings. So this is going to obviously require a pit stop. We do about 1 gallon or so per lap, give or take a couple of points. So we're going to end up needing about 5.5 to 6 gallons of fuel. It also means that we pretty much need, I'm just going to go for 6 this time. There are no fast repairs, and there's absolutely no reason to take and change your tires out on that pit stop. So I do have a macro set up and attached to a button. As you can see, instantaneously clears the tires. That can be set up using one of your pre-built chat messages, and that gets rid of that. All right, so we got our fuel set up. We're going to do a 1 to green. Keep me updated.
Acknowledged. I'll keep you up to date.
See what the time is. 12 seconds. Crap.
Minutes. The track temp is 79 Fahrenheit.
Okay, watch later at youtube.play.
Follow car number.
There we go.
Left column.
All right, so we're going to pay attention a lot this time, because that's one thing that we did run into last time. There was a lot of Constantinoing going on over there. So we do not want that to happen. And hopefully this ends up being a good race, because last one, not so much. So we are much higher up in the field. It looks like we got the benefit of the split this time. So, already doing the whole... Let's try not to hit the... Okay, so here we are going down the middle straight here. Some of these I think we could do without the extremely long parade lap, but I guess if we were at a real event, this would be for the benefit of all those paying customers.
Catch up to car number 24.
All right, folks. So what the general plan here is that we are going to try to make it to the point where we've burned off about 6 laps of fuel. There are a total of, this is a 40-minute race. So probably about the halfway point, we're going to stop for fuel. That'll give us enough space in the tank to put the 5 gallons we need and then go from there. I think anything later, you don't have any time to catch anybody, and anything earlier, and you don't have enough space in the tank. Wasting your time, so. All right, so really, from what I can tell, the place to look out here is going to be turn 1, and it's going to be the end of the middle straight, and it's going to be the kink to start with. So lots of people behind us. It's potentially going to be getting darker as we go along. This track is not lit, so hopefully it doesn't get completely dark.
No, guys, good luck out there. Let's be safe on this first lap.
All right, so coming up to the final corner, and we'll wait for the pace car to peel off, and then we will hit the gas.
Okay, Michael, are you ready? Watch for the lights.
Yeah, I don't know if that's really a valid thing.
Green, green, green. Blue flag.
Right side. Clear right. On your right. Hold your line. Still there. Still there. Clear right. Car right.
All right, so here's where I
Hold your
always
line.
run into trouble is
Right.
giving people room.
Car left. Clear left.
But anyway, let's see if we can. Okay, at least it looks like we don't have a bunch of people around me in the kink this time. Pretty good run there. Let's see if we can separate out a bit. Okay, so let's see who's in front of us.
What are you doing, Wolfgang? That was a nice night.
P8.
Alright, so won't be talking too much. These cars require a fair amount of concentration. Not as bad as Formula cars, but pretty close.
Right side. Clear right. Car right. Hold your line. Hold your line. Still there. Clear right.
Oh shit, Michael. Come on, mate. Defend your position.
Well, let's see if we can catch the guy in front of us.
P9. Sector 3 is 1.6 seconds off the pace.
Problem is, these guys are slower where I'm faster. Which means they have less downforce, but higher straight line speed. And so what they do is they move to the inside. As I go to the inside. To force the block. Oh well.
The gap to Ralph in front is now 0.7. Okay, Michael, the next car is Ralph.
Yeah, I know.
Stay calm, keep it smooth. You've just done a 206.22. That's your quickest lap in this session.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to try a completely different approach. Oh, excuse me. Use that higher downforce to our advantage. Right, we got a bit of a gap behind us. Looks like the guy in front of Ralph here is a little loose and a little out of sorts.
That's your quickest lap in this session.
Alright, we need to be careful through here. Alright, let's see who this person is, although he's getting away from me a little bit. He's probably stuck closer, but he keeps flashing out too. That's always dangerous.
Your lap time was 2:07.
Oh, back to wrecked again.
Okay, Michael, our fuel window will open after 20 minutes and closes after 30 minutes.
You weren't blocking, that shit wouldn't happen. Okay.
P9. The gap ahead is now 0.8.
Hey, Rug, could you pick a side of the track and stay on it?
6.62.
All right, folks. Got about 8 gallons of fuel left, almost to that point. I don't know that trying to pass him at this point in time really makes sense when I'm just going to have to pit here soon.
There's an incident in turn 8.
Yeah, this business of going off left and then going immediately all the way back over to right. Okay, where are we at on the fuel situation? All right, position 9, lap 7 of 20, roughly 25 minutes remaining. Not quite at the halfway point yet.
8th place.
All right, let's not get flustered by Mr. Right here. We're just gonna close up the gap a little bit. Looks like we have lost some major time to the guys behind us.
You've got half your fuel left.
I think this is as good a time to any to go ahead and stop for that pit stop.
The gap in front is now 1.6 seconds. What's your speed limit in the pits?
All right, so we've cleared tires.
Box in 1,740 feet.
This takes 7.
Huben behind is pitting.
Oh, great.
Box in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Box now.
All right, let's get that fuel going in there.
Pit exit's clear. Push.
All right, so now we are double the spot where we needed to be, or where we were, but we have stopped for fuel, and we have got what we need, so now we can, we're out of traffic, and we can focus on nice, tidy laps. Nice and tidy laps. See if we can catch some people. People are going to go into the pits. They have to.
The gap to Urban behind is now 11 seconds. V21. The car in front is VRS. Okay, Michael, that's half distance. You're looking good for fuel.
Well, let's see, Ruben, go ahead and see if you can catch me this time. Guess not. I don't know if I'm catching Barros. Maybe.
VRS in front is pitting.
All right. Am I really in 22nd? These guys have to pit, right?
E19. That lap was a 205.77. The leader's pitting now.
No, I don't know if that is enough.
guy behind. The gap's now 11 seconds.
Okay, I don't know who I'm catching. Probably not anybody.
Heads up, there's a car exiting the pits. Your lap times are improving.
Okay, we got 15 minutes left, and we're not catching anybody, and we're all the way back in 19th.
Okay, Michael, 15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes. The guy in front is Anderson.
All right, well, we're slowly catching Anderson. Don't think anybody else has pitted yet.
B17.
Okay, that's 2. I just don't know if I'm quite close enough to be. Well, I can see Anderson now. Okay, that would be not the way to jump into the pits. Ever so slowly.
Okay, Michael, there's a car exiting the pits. Heads up. Mitchell behind is pitting now. B14. That was a 205.74.
On your right. Clear right.
The guy behind's reeling you in. The gap's now 0.5. He's quicker than you into Canada corner. The guy in front is Anderson. The lead car's pitting. Use all the track, force him to find the gap. Ten minutes to go, that's 10 minutes left. Anderson, ahead, is pitting. There's a car exiting the pits, heads up.
On your right. Hold your line. Hold your line.
Sorry, man.
Clear right.
P7.
Car right. Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear right. 3 wide, you're in the middle. Clear all round.
Incident in turn 3. Looks like it's Ralph.
Well, I do not know how we can look at that one. So I am not going to say anything until I have looked at the replay. Which I will duly do after we finish. So we'll see. Yeah, admittedly,
B6.
Wilson, I just don't want to talk about that until we get a chance to look at the replay. That, I don't know, that seems like a bit of a squeeze there. I don't know if I hit him or not. I mean, it's very possible. In which case, I am sorry, but going to review that afterwards, and we shall see.
The gap behind is now 0.8.
What do we got? Like 3 gaffs of fuel? We got 6 gallons left. I don't believe I'm in 6th place. But Kleiber is way out in front here, about 3 seconds or so.
Good consistency. Keep them coming.
Right side. Still there. Still there. Hold your line. Clear right.
So I would imagine that's how it's supposed to work.
5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left. You've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Great, now he's going to start that crap. Lovely.
Push. We can get this guy.
All right, what we got? Like 2 laps left.
E7. That lap was at 2:07.02.
I don't think Dion is just ever so slightly faster than I am. Boy, these guys behind me are really cooking.
The gap in front is now 1.0. That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
Well, at least it took care of the guys behind us a little bit. They're down to 5 seconds. Last lap.
White flag, one more lap.
Okay.
I think P3's gone off in turn 6.
Tanti auguri Antonio.
All right, well, there you go, folks.
There's an incident in turn 1. 7th position. That's the end of the race. We'll get him next time.
All right, well, 7th place, contrary to what my crew chief says, not what I would call a bad race. I will say that we do need to look at that turn 2, turn 3 incident right here. So I'm going to pull off, and we're going to close this out. Leave me alone.
Okay, I'll keep quiet.
That'll keep the crew chief out of things. So let's take and look at this. So in the end, we did qualify 5th, ended up 7th. We did have one unfortunate incident during it, and that is exactly what we're going to look at now.
Hey guys,
See if we can analyze this. No, we don't want the end card yet. We just want to get rid of those extra screens. So let's go through here. I don't know if this is the lap or not. This is lap 15. I believe this is probably it. So once again, leaving plenty of room here. I got a little squirrely. There it is. Okay, so all right, so that's pretty straightforward here. Looks like, yeah, I got 2 wheels off on the grass. Unfortunately, that kicked me back in there and threw me back in there. So that was entirely an error on my part. Certainly not intentional. Just dropped a couple of wheels, and that once again is a little bit of a lesson there. So certainly I think that the way that it was going out, we were coming down. I did leave plenty of space going through turn 1. Easily enough room there. I was holding off to the left. Pretty much, I think, doing everything I needed to do. Unfortunately, was being a little too cautious and ended up dropping the 2 wheels off the side, which did kick me over. And so let's say at that point in time, we were in position 9, and that was, oh, who were we talking about at that point in time? That is Dave Ralph and Is that him? Yep. So Boris Bladner and Dave Ralph, unfortunately, were the. You look at it back here. I'm not even quite certain how I ended up in the back of Boris here. Came off of there, it screwed me up, that threw me out, and I guess I just didn't slow down. Looks like in general though, if we come back and pause on that, where do we end up here? So Dave Ralph, he ended up 3 laps down in 20th. And Boris ended up finishing in 9th place where he was at 2 places behind me. So if you do in fact watch this video, sorry about that. Entirely an error on my part, although not nothing intentional and nothing obviously from the standpoint of trying or just not doing things right. It's just that's what happens when you drop a wheel. Sometimes it catches you and throws you, and sometimes there's nothing. That's kind of the unpredictable nature of sim racing, and I guess real racing sometimes. As I was obviously attempting to leave plenty of space for both you guys, because it did seem like you were faster than me. Just got a little bit of bad luck there, and managed to take out both you, and in a rare moment of luck on my part, didn't actually mess me up. That's kind of an odd thing. Unfortunately, GT racing can be like that sometimes, and well, the only thing is I can say that it was not bad judgment on my part, as I was certainly trying to leave you guys space. Had I not dropped the wheel, worried about Ralph coming through there on the right, trying to give him enough room to make the turn properly. That's what you call over caution there. So at any rate, other than that, I guess it ended up being a good race overall. Again, finished 7th, and qualifying laps was in the 204. So I'm happy with that as well. That's first time I've been able to do that. So a little bit of bad luck on the part of some. I'm sure plenty of people have that kind of thing going on, as it's just the nature of racing. So that's why I don't I don't like posting the videos where I get too upset about people doing stuff. Although that first time through, I really think that was a very, very stupid thing to do. The way that we were handling it in this race seemed to be much better. So with that, I'm going to call it an end to this race. So thanks for watching. Again, we're in 2020 and just starting the year. Hope you're having a good new year so far. And as always, here's the end card.
Hey guys, Michael here. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, go ahead and click that like button. Click on the planetherring logo to subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you think about the video in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.